The New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers are on a collision course. With just a few games left in the regular season, the Knicks and the Cavs appear set to face off in the first round. Last summer, the Cavs beat out the Knicks in the Donovan Mitchell trade sweepstakes. Donovan Mitchell originally wanted to go to the Knicks, being that he's from Westchester, but he's embraced Cleveland and he's turned them from a lottery team into one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And while the Knicks missed out on Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson has proven to be the steal of last year's free agency, and he's also turned the Knicks from a lottery team to one of the top teams in the East. This will be one of the most drama-filled series in the first round. Donovan Mitchell is definitely going to want to show out against his hometown team, and the Knicks are going to want to prove that they were right to not trade their young pieces for Donovan Mitchell. The Cavaliers are going into this series as the favorite. Not only do they have home court advantage as the 4th seed, but they no doubt have the best player in the series in Donovan Mitchell. But this video is going to explain why the Knicks are going to pull off the upset. The Knicks won the regular season series against the Cavaliers, winning 3 out of 4 games. Now, I know many of you guys are already about to type in the comments that the regular season is completely different from the playoffs, and while that's true, the Knicks showed in the regular season that they match up incredibly well with Cleveland. One of the reasons the Knicks match up so well with the Cavs is the way they defend Cleveland's star-studded backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. The Knicks are a team with great defensive personnel, with Quentin Grimes emerging as their primary defender. He did a good job defending Donovan Mitchell this season. Mitchell did average 32 points per game against the Knicks, but in 2 of those games, he shot under 40%. The Knicks did an even better job defending Darius Garland, holding him to 20 points per game on just 34% shooting.
That's terrible.
I don't expect the Knicks to lock down Donovan Mitchell. He's a superstar that's been torching elite defenders in the playoffs for years now. When Donovan Mitchell decides to turn it on, there's probably not a single player on planet Earth that can stop him from going off. But I do think the Knicks could do a much better job at defending Darius Garland. The Knicks have some excellent defenders to put on Garland between guys like Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley, and Josh Hart, and they have an elite rim protector in Mitchell Robinson that can make life difficult for Garland in the paint. The Knicks have some great defensive personnel to put on Garland, which is a huge reason he shot so poorly against them in the regular season. But while the Knicks have good defensive personnel, slowing down all-star players is a team effort, and the Knicks need to take advantage of a serious weakness on the Cavaliers, which is a lack of good three-point shooting outside of their backcourt. Players like Evan Mobley, Lamar Stevens, and Ricky Rubio can essentially be ignored from the outside, which means the Knicks could put more defensive pressure on Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. And we saw this in the Knicks' last victory over Cleveland, where the Knicks were packing the paint on Donovan Mitchell drives, and they were more than happy to allow piss-poor shooters like Lamar Stevens let it fly. In this playoff series, the Knicks need to pack the paint and force Cleveland's all-star backcourt to either take difficult shots over multiple defenders or force Cleveland's bad shooters to make in open shots. The Knicks have the personnel to match up with Cleveland defensively, but they're also going to need to produce offensively. The playoffs is all about star players having star performances, and the Cavaliers have one of the best player performers in the entire league in Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has some incredible playoff performances in his resume, and for his career, he averages 28 points per game in the playoffs. But the Knicks have a star player in Jalen Brunson that can match what Donovan Mitchell produces on offense. In fact, in last year's playoffs, Jalen Brunson flat out outplayed Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs. Last year, Jalen Brunson averaged 28 points per game against the Jazz in the first round, as the Mavericks eliminated the Jazz in 6 games. Jalen Brunson is not going to be lacking any confidence going up against Donovan Mitchell, and he could go toe-to-toe with him in this playoff series. If Jalen Brunson can match what Donovan Mitchell is doing offensively, then Julius Randle has to at least be the 3rd best player in this series. Now, unfortunately, Julius Randle's return date is currently unknown. He's expected to get reevaluated from his ankle injury a few days before the playoffs, and hopefully he's not only good to go come playoff time, but can also play to his normal standards. Now, this isn't going to be an easy matchup for Randle at all. He does have the strength to outmuscle Evan Mobley, but the issue is that the Cavaliers play with 2 7-footers between Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, which could present some problems for Julius Randle in the paint. In this series, Randle is going to have to shoot the 3-ball well, and when the Knicks beat the Cavaliers back in January, Randle couldn't miss from downtown, knocking down 8 of his 12 threes. Not only is Randle going to have to shoot the 3-ball well for his individual matchup, but this is also going to improve the Knicks' spacing. The Cavaliers' defensive identity is built around that twin tower lineup of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, and the both of those guys combined make it really tough for teams to score against the Cavaliers in the paint. If Randle is shooting the 3-ball well, this is going to force Evan Mobley out, and this is going to create more driving lanes for the Knicks. While Randle and Brunson both need to show out, a huge factor is also Immanuel Quickley, who's looked like an emerging star as of late. Post All-Star break, Immanuel Quickley is averaging almost 20 points per game. His offensive game has gotten so much better this year, and while scoring the ball at an efficient rate, he still remains a pest on defense. If Immanuel Quickley can keep up this high level of play, he can swing this playoff series in the Knicks' favor. The key X factor for the Knicks in this series is RJ Barrett. Watching RJ Barrett play basketball is a frustrating experience for Knicks fans. He makes a lot of mistakes on the court, and he tends to have games where he's ice cold, but there's enough flashes of brilliance for Knicks fans to not give up hope on him.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
What's really concerning is Rowan's outside shooting. He's only hitting 32% of his threes, and the Cavaliers are going to game plan and encourage Rowan to let it fly. Now, Thibodeau has given RJ a long leash in the regular season, but he needs to shorten that leash in the playoffs. If RJ is shooting the ball poorly, he needs to lower his minutes and give Josh Hart more minutes, because not only is Josh Hart a better shooter than RJ, but he's also a much better defender and rebounder. Ultimately, I expect this to be a very competitive series, and I think the Knicks have what it takes to pull off this upset if they execute. But now I want to hear from you guys. Who wins this series and in how many games? Tell me in the comments. Guys, like the Knicks, I'm also trying to achieve greatness. I'm trying to get to 15K subs before June. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more dope content just like it, drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. Let's not also forget that the Knicks aren't even supposed to be here because everyone doubted them. Click this video to learn how the Knicks fooled everyone.